know what Chemsain Konsultant do from a day-to-day basis? What are the importances of understanding the water treatment process? Those are the questions we'll be answering in today's video. Let's find out.
Malaysia has been known to have abundant rainfall annually in the past. Dams constructed to store water normally were filled to brimful, which is at top water level or at least 90% filled by year's end. However, in recent years, due partially to land clearing for the construction of infrastructures and industry development, coupled with global climatic changes, has resulted in gradual reduction in rainfall in the country. Dry weather with no rainfall will result in low flows in rivers and no replenishment of volume in dams. This will cause the augment and insufficient flow in rivers or quantity abstracted direct from the dams to water treatment plants. The result, there is insufficient raw water to be abstracted for the treatment to meet consumers' demand. A common water crisis would be, in the current status quo, water issues in Sarawak.
We know very well that clean and safe water is vital to everyday life. However, do we actually know where and how water is treated? Well, this is where a water treatment system comes in. Water treatment is a process involving different types of operations, including chemical, physical, biological, and physiochemical processes. The aim is to eliminate contamination as well as enhance the quality of water to make it appropriate for specific end users. As we all know, treated water has great importance in industrial applications and also in providing safe water to the community.
The problem that water treatment will encounter is the presence of contaminants and pollutants in water. Pollutants such as metals, which are dangerous in small amounts, like iron, manganese, and aluminium, which may stain laundry, affect the aesthetics of water, or may be slightly toxic due to the manganese. This is why water treatment is really important.
This is the Sebat River in Sematan, Sarawak. The Sebat River is the main source of raw water for Sematan Water Treatment Plant. Raw water is used for both conventional and advanced water treatment. Here, the water is pumped directly into the water treatment plant.
From the river, this is where water treatment starts.
The conventional water treatment plant starts off with raw water being collected and chemicals such as alum, which is aluminium sulfate, being added. After that, the water goes through a mixing process where aluminium sulfate acts as a coagulant and disperses evenly. After that is the flocculation process. Alum added into the water will make the particles in the water electrically charged, coming closer together, forming floc. During sedimentation, the floc will sink down to the bottom due to its weight. After that, water from the sedimentation tank is transferred into a filter tank. Here, the filtration process occurs where the water passes through a sand filter to remove particles that were not settled, such as dust. Lastly, a suitable amount of chlorine is added to kill all non-carbonic organisms. Water is then distributed through the general public through these pumps. More advanced water treatment systems include a very basic sand filter that filters the water collected from rivers.
After the sand filters, water can then be treated using advanced filtration techniques such as through the lamella clarifier. Now let's go up and take a look at the lamella clarifier. So on my right here we have a lamella clarifier. The lamella clarifier is a type of settler designed to remove particulates from liquids. It is often used in place of conventional settling tanks, which are number 1, more costly, and number 2, they take up too much space. Take a closer look here. The lamella clarifier actually applies the usage of inclined tubes. These inclined tubes result in a counter-current flow, allowing the particles to settle faster. Besides, the flow between the tubes is usually laminar to allow the fluids to travel smoothly. Moreover, compared to a conventional settling tank, these inclined tubes give a larger settling area in a much smaller space.
On the subject of advanced filtration techniques, currently I'm standing in between a bunch of ultrafiltration membranes. What does that mean in particular? There's different types of filtration membranes, those being nanofiltration, microfiltration, and of course ultrafiltration. Nanofiltration focuses on desalinating water, whereas ultrafiltration, the ones I'm standing next to, mostly focus on getting rid of bacteria. This makes it so much better in providing water to the masses. It's a physical process whereby it gets sucked through a bunch of straws that have like tiny pores that bacteria cannot pass through, but water still can. This is why we use ultrafiltration to send water to the masses. Water is just pumping through here and out there. And that is all for advanced filtration techniques.
Here at Chemsain Water Infrastructure Division, over 20,000 water quality tests are conducted each year. So now let's look into the process of water quality monitoring and analysis.
Have you ever wondered how the optimal dosage of coagulant is estimated by scientists? Scientists run multiple tests such as the jar test.
So this is the jar test. The jar test is to simulate the amount of chemicals needed for flocculation. So here we have aluminium sulfate and raw water. Our apparatus are the micropipette, flocculator, pH meter, and turbidimeter. So now I'm going to be using a micropipette to insert different amounts of aluminium sulfate into each corresponding beaker. For the first beaker, I'm going to be putting 1 milliliter of aluminium sulfate in it. And for the second one, 2 milliliters, third one, 3 milliliters, and so on. So this is the result of the jar test. I'm going to do a pH test the pH by inserting this pH meter. And the pH of the water is around 8.01. And now I'm going to be doing the turbidity test by pouring a bit of the jar test result into a small jar. And the result of the turbidity test is 1.11.
This is a transparent UF membrane, and this is some clearly dirty water. I'll be demonstrating how efficient a UF membrane is by taking some of this water and passing it through here. As you can see, some water is dripped through already, and as you can see, the water has ended up clear. As we can see, the chemists at Chemsain are playing an important role in ensuring that society gets clean water. This is why it's important for our youth to understand the magic of science.
Science is one of the core fields to ensure human advancement. Through the magic of science, most problems can be solved and everything could be improved. Only through science can clean water be truly accessible to everyone.
Through this experience, not only were we able to get a tour of their labs and experience their workplace settings, we were also given a trip to one of their water treatment plants in Samathan.
The main objective of the Young Scientist program is to foster an interest in science among students. An interest in science, especially in the younger generation, is of paramount importance to not only create awareness of the role of scientists in our society at the present time, it also shows how science is integrated into everything that we do. Besides, it is critical to teach the younger generation that science is not just part of school curricula. It's not just about memorization. Rather, it's more about understanding, and it's also a tool that we can use to enrich everyday life.
Throughout our experience with Chemsain, we learned that by applying the magic of science, most problems can be solved, such as water treatment.
To sum it all up, access to clean water is one of the most important drivers to a modern society.
It's pretty obvious that advancement in water treatment leads to an overall high quality of life.
As J.W. Von Gogh once said, water is a friendly element to those who are familiar with it and to those who know how to treat it.
Thank you.
Say hello. Okay.
Raw water where we take raw water lah. And then you see, we check, we compare the color. No, it's okay. Not. I this one. You see this one? touch number 6. Number 6 is air scrubbing. Okay, set to manual and start. Okay, then go there. What you do is you dislike the floor. So you can see the floor there, then the parade. Go there.
In the way?
Yeah, the
In the
drain.
way?
It will be a boom.
Oh, is that
Oh,
drain?
there, that pipe.
Oh.
Wow. You can call him Chief. Chief. Yeah, Chief. So whatever regarding the operation, you may ask him pontoon. Yes, familiar, right? Pontoon, right?
Thank you.
Like Lampong lah, that one. That one. Inside pontoon, we have our robot submersible pump. So we put silica sand, like a pistol one, silica sand.
Yeah, was from diagonally.
Cool. Include Syrian Sarawak, Malaysia. By the year end. But don't care lah. The law.
Reporters do it all the time. Dylan, you're too tall.
The development of cities.
Wait, what? Is that slow? Ian standing outside the building.
Hello. There's a drone shot. Hi.
Alright.
Day-to-day basis.
Ian noises.
An interest in science
Students.
no. It aims to here at Chemsain.
Introduce yourself, please, sir. Sir.
Do we actually know where and how water is treated?
No, we don't.
Interest in science, especially the injections of photons do not only create winds.
Just walk a bit.
Ian, say hello. Well, introduce yourself.
Liquid. Technology. In.
Wait.
Thank you.
Are we doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, it's too slow.
Take 3.
Thank you.
Take 4.
Okay.
Take 5.
Thank you.
Take 6.
Thank-
Take 7.
Thank you.
Why you laugh?
Take 8.
Thank you.
Look, it's teacher. Look, I'm a vlogger.
Every 12-year-old vlogger. What's up, gamers?
These are very, I don't know. What you see? Nothing.